This is 6 Northeast Street, Suite 200.
Correct. It's actually Eveready Square, but we're right next to
Eveready Square. Of course, Eveready Square. That's where I parked. This is Ashley VanCleef, and this is the Parent Resource Center.
Correct.
This is what a vision and how it all came together, even though it probably wasn't your original intention. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you were just telling me you guys have been here 3 years in this location.
Correct.
But you've been a lifelong supporter of kids with disabilities.
I have.
And this has just culminated into this great space. So tell me a little bit, not from Frederick, but that's okay. We love you because you've been here for a while now.
I have 20 years.
20 years. Yeah, you're definitely Fredericktonian. So it's all good. It's all good. But you moved from Oklahoma, Texas, and settled in Maryland and said, I'm staying.
I did. Yeah. Absolutely. Fell in love with it here.
Yeah. What did you love when you first got to Maryland?
So I grew up in a very small town, Muskogee, Oklahoma. So I'm an Okie from Muskogee. We had no chain restaurants. We only got a mall as I was leaving and going to college. And it was very small town feel.
I mean, that sounds lovely, actually, but I understand. I understand why when you're young, that's not great. Yeah.
It wasn't when I was young.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, I've certainly appreciated that. Yeah. So, lots of small businesses, very supportive kind of town and culture. And Frederick embodies that for me. So it makes me feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
But I love the feel of Frederick and the people, the support, like you see in this old historic building, right? Like we value the things from other years.
Yeah, exactly. So you're the Parent Resource Center. Tell our viewers a little bit about how this came together to be what it is today.
Sure, absolutely. So my law firm was in Chaparral, looking to expand, grow into a larger space, wanted to move in with my friend Stephanie Knapp, who has Advocates in Education, and share some space together.
Yeah.
And Bert Anderson came to us and said, hey, I've got this larger space that's available. Would you be interested? And we looked at this, which used to be postern, and fell in love with it.
Yeah.
You've got wood beams, you've got brick walls, and it's just
you can't help but love this. It's gorgeous. All of Eveready Square, but this space is really fantastic.
And location-wise, we're right off of the highway. You can get to us. You can park here, so it offers everything but an elevator. But it offers a lot of great space-wise for us, and so we fell in love with it. And knowing that, it was a little more than what we both needed and we were going to have two businesses in one, it was kind of, what do we do? So we created the Parent Resource Center. And that was that bigger idea that we've had companies that families come to when things have gone wrong, but they need resources. And what better way to get them the resources than to create a resource center? So it's not always about, you need an attorney or a paralegal or an advocacy group, but you just need resources.
Yeah.
So we created the Parent Resource Center to connect families with those resources and to connect those resources with families, because we know businesses are looking for the right kind of clients.
Yeah.
So I always say you shouldn't have to need an attorney, right? You shouldn't have to pay for an attorney. You shouldn't have to need one. And so if I can help families avoid that, that's win-win for everyone.
Yeah. So parents or families come to you for the legal stuff if they're having at what points are they getting in contact with you?
It can vary between, I went to a meeting and I had no idea what they were talking about and I need some help.
Yeah.
This isn't my world and I just need somebody to help me to navigate this. Or it's gone really horribly. My kid's in 11th grade and they can't read. It can be a whole variety of in between there.
Yeah. So
I help families at any part of that process, or they think something's maybe wrong and they're not sure, but they don't know how to deal with the system.
Yeah, it's going to be overwhelming and intimidating.
Very much so.
And I've heard this speaking with other advocacy groups that deal with families whose child has a 504 and they're going to these meetings and there's 18 people on one side and they're on the other, and it's not having somebody on your side can be, it's so great that there are people like you that will step up and speak on behalf of those families and the children really.
Well, and having been a teacher myself, I started out in the classroom and then I worked for some state departments and then I worked for Howard County when I moved here, training teachers, and then Montgomery County as an attorney. I have perspective of having sat at most of the seats around that table, so I can give them that, well, here's how schools work, right?
Yeah.
So it may be frustrating that that's not happening overnight, but it's just not how it works.
Well, for you to have that insight probably makes you a little bit more welcomed maybe at that table, or at least you can speak the language so that you're getting, because as you said, when I first came in here, you want the partnership with the school, because ultimately the school's got to follow through with the things you guys are putting in place. And sometimes going in with the heavy stick is not the way to do it in a way to get results. Yeah. So, yeah.
I always said you get more with honey than you do vinegar, right? And also if you know what you're asking for and you're asking for something that the student needs. I try really hard to not ask for something that a child doesn't need. So my reputation can be, this is what's appropriate for that child. And I take that very seriously. I get my own training and make sure that I have the same training the teachers have, so that we're talking that same language, and it is what that child needs. Because we have scarce resources and we have to use them wisely.
Yeah, 100%. So when a parent has any needs, so it is mostly parents who have children with some sort of disability, they can come here and be guided through I think we have good resources here in Frederick County. We have a lot of different organizations who are there to champion you, but sometimes it can be hard to navigate or find.
Yeah. So we offer in our center here, not just the companies that we partnered with to help get their information out, but we offer information sessions. We have those companies come in and provide information to the families. We do a sensory-friendly Santa, similar to what you do down at Everything Frederick.
Yeah.
But we try to create events. We'll have a sensory-friendly trick-or-treat on the 25th. We'll have a courtyard bash that same afternoon. But we try to create events that are inclusive and create opportunities for our families of kiddos with disabilities or adults with disabilities.
Sure.
So those opportunities here create community. So those families get to know each other. They can create some friendships. They create an opportunity for us to give out that information about community resources.
Yeah.
But it builds community.
I was just going to say, you get to meet other people who might be experiencing the same things as you, or at least have some knowledge about what you're going through, which makes it a little bit easier, I guess, to navigate as a parent, because you're always trying to fit in, figure it out.
Between parenting.
Make sure you want to make sure your kids are, on the path to success. That's what every parent wants. Absolutely. And sometimes you're navigating a road that's not what you expected. So
it's not, and it's hard. It's very hard, and not everything is the right path for your kid. We have an autism parent support group that meets here once a month, and we try to create those opportunities to build communities with families that can oftentimes feel very separated and ostracized, because it's difficult for them to go out to community events. It's difficult for them to access those resources because they're tired, they're busy.
Yeah.
They're doing all
and it's
the
a
things.
lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, I know I have friends and I know families that it is a 24/7 job, as is all parenting. But sometimes when you're dealing with a child who is struggling or having issues, it's hard. It's hard to socialize and all of that good stuff. So it's wonderful that you guys are here. So what's the next step? If a family has a child with disabilities right now, what is your recommendation for them to do to get the schools to hear them if they notice that there's something that doesn't seem to be right?
Yeah, absolutely. So families can reach out to us if they're looking for a resource or they just don't know where to turn, and we're happy to help them. So part of our job in the Parent Resource Center is just connect families with resources. But if they feel they need something more, like they need the advocacy or they need the legal piece, then we have both of those here in the center that can help them. We're trying to expand our center and be able to offer more services for families. So we're trying to move into the hallway over next door, bring in some speech pathologists, some mental health, so it can be a real one-stop shop.
Oh, that's
so
great.
We're in the process of trying to find those community partners that want to move in and be a part of something bigger.
Yeah, that's amazing. We are so grateful you're part of this community, making it better, making sure people who parents or families who have kids with disabilities feel included and feel like they have a voice and that they're getting help, and advocate for them. It's so important, really is.
We think so. We think everybody should be included. We did the Sensory Friendly Keys game in a collaboration with the Keys.
That's fun.
It's been absolutely amazing to see how welcoming Frederick is.
Yeah.
And to see all the other businesses that want to partner with us and help kind of further that mission so that it is a very inclusive community.
Well, I want to make sure you keep us posted about all those things so we can make sure our viewers know about it. We'll include it on the Everything Frederick calendar so families know, and we'll make sure to talk about it on the show because it is important. I'll make sure your website's on screen so families can get to you. And all right, so kind of 20 years in Frederick, 2 decades. What are the top 3 things you love about Frederick?
So top 3 things. I love that there are so many family-owned businesses. Again, I grew up in a small town where that was just a big part of it. And I love that. I love the sense of community. I live in Jefferson, work here in Frederick, and Frederick County is just absolutely what feels like home to me. The other part of that is I've been able to create so many relationships by my family, my kids, through this business or just friends. And I have so many wonderful relationships.
That's awesome.
But you can walk through downtown and just feel like you're part of something. You can feel like you're a part of a community. And that welcoming spirit is just something that you don't find everywhere.
Yeah, I know people don't believe it. People who haven't left Frederick or lived somewhere else, I'm like, this is like no other place.
Absolutely.
It's really like no other place.
It's like a Hallmark movie.
It is like a Hallmark movie. It really is. Well, we appreciate Ashley VanCleef. If you need help, resources, if you have a child with disabilities or an adult that you're caring for as well, this resource center is for you. And I'll make sure the website's on screen. Please reach out to them for even just some socialization. If you just want to get together, make sure you know what events are happening here. They'll keep you posted about all of that as well. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.